Hello and welcome to the Florida Home and Outdoors channel. Today it's too windy to go fishing, so we're going to change the water pump in this 2018 20 horsepower Tohatsu outboard. I've had it for a year. I didn't really think it was pushing enough water when I got it, so I'm going to go ahead and throw caution to the wind and go ahead and change the impeller on it, and I'll be able to look inside and see if there's any blockages in there. The motor's been running fine. It's just I was just thinking maybe I needed more water coming out of the coolant vent. So we'll get this thing apart. I didn't check any YouTube videos or check any breakdowns. I'm just going to pull it apart. I got 4 10mm bolts in here, and I'm just going to take those off, blast this thing out of here, and we'll take a look at what we got in the water pump. Okay, let's get started. We're going to disconnect the linkage for the shifter. We'll move this nut up so it disengages with the lower shaft. We'll pull this nut off and try not to drop it in the grass. Now we'll take these 4 bolts out, 2 on each side. We'll give this a little tap. That'll get our lower unit disconnected. With the lower unit disconnected, we'll take the pump housing screws out. Use the same 10mm wrench. Screws are out. We'll take this housing off, and there's your old water pump impeller. You want to make sure your keyway is flat, and then get the new impeller. Slide it on the keyway, then get your pump housing. Turn the pump housing counterclockwise. That'll get your fins going the correct direction. I've got this lubricated. I lubricated the impeller and housing with some silicone, and then just put your bolts back in. Make sure the discharge of the pump is going the correct direction. You'll be able to look up in the housing in case you forgot where it was when you took it apart. And we'll tighten these up. Snug that housing down nice. You don't want to torque these bolts down too tight, because a year from now you might see that you're damaging the plastic housing. I put some silicone grease on the tube here for the discharge, and I put some on the end of the spline on the shaft, and now we'll get this thing put on the boat. You're going to run the drive shaft up in. Put a bolt in to keep that from falling out. And I'll get my little mallet here and bump it up tight. We're going to put these 4 bolts in. We're going to reconnect our shift linkage and life will be good. I've got such a small ratchet. I'm going to use a little piece of tubing on the ratchet handle. So let me get these tight enough. Don't want any bolts falling out. You people in the more northern climes won't be doing this in your yard with bare feet, but it's probably going to run up to 70 something degrees today in the middle of January. So as soon as this wind dies down, maybe tomorrow, we're going to go boating. I'm going to run this engine to make sure everything's working good, and that'll be it. I don't normally run this engine with mouse ears on it. I don't have a bucket right now. It's got a flushing port on it, so I take care of that with the flushing port after I run the motor in salt water or even fresh water.